Welcome to a quick teacher guide for doing ELL listening and speaking benchmarks. Today we will learn a simple, quick, and standardized way to easily benchmark the language proficiency levels of your ELL students. For this assessment, all you need is this colored picture of people at the beach. Here's what to do, step by step. Record the student's first and last name, record the student number, record the class in which you are doing the assessment. For example, maybe it's PE 20. Record the date of the assessment, record the grade level of the student. For example, grade 10, 11, or 12. Here's the instructions. You will receive an assessment package for each of your ELL students. The package contains one table of questions for each benchmark level. There are 5 levels. These tables contain all the questions you will ask the student out loud. They will listen to the questions you ask. Then they will respond orally. Students must score at least 8 out of 10 to proceed to the next benchmark. Just allow the student a few moments to examine the picture prompt before starting the assessment. Where do I start? What table of questions do I use? Select a starting point at which you believe the student will succeed. Don't start with something too hard. With our lead students, we always start at LP1. But if you are teaching a student in your mainstream classes, it is likely that they will be higher than this. Outside of the sheltered ELL classes, most students will be either LP4 or LP5, but not always. Sometimes a mainstream student will have very low speaking and listening skills. You might start with the LP2 questions in this case. Go back or go forward based on the first few responses. For example, don't start at LP1 if you've already had a fluent conversation with the student. The teacher may read the question prompt twice using natural speech, rhythm, and intonation. Students responding to level 2, 3, 4, and 5 question prompts should be instructed to answer using complete sentences. When a student is required to answer in complete sentences and does not, the teacher may repeat the instruction. The teacher should use professional judgment to assess the accuracy of the responses. On each of the benchmark question tables, the first column lists the questions you will ask the student. Remember, the student must score at least 8 out of 10 to proceed to the next level. In the next column, there is a list of acceptable student responses. Use this as a guide to help you to decide if the student's response is good enough. Next, there is a column where you can write down student responses. Just record the basics of what the student said here, if you like. Finally, in this last column, you can record the score. I just use a check mark for correct responses. Sometimes you may want to give a half mark if an answer isn't perfect, but it is also not bad. This is okay too. Remember, you should stop asking questions when the student can no longer score higher than 8 out of 10. This is the student's benchmark, or LP level. You can record the LP level on the front page of the individualized assessment booklet. And that's all, folks. Thanks for your efforts.